Before we begin, I need you to hear this first. You are still loved. Yes, even with that search history. Even with the silence after you gave in. Even with the secrets no one knows. You are still loved. Right now. Not some future version of you. Not the one who's finally pure, finally strong, finally free. You, right here, as you are. God isn't afraid of your weakness. He doesn't flinch at your temptation. He isn't waiting on the other side of your shame. He's already standing in it with you. And yet, let's go deeper now. Not to expose you, but to free you. Because maybe no one ever told you this, you didn't fall into lust just because of desire. You fell because something in you was starving. And lust, it offered something instant, a hit of comfort, a flash of closeness, a moment where, at last, you didn't feel invisible. But after it passed, it left behind that old echo emptiness. The kind that silence doesn't soothe. The kind you try to outrun with noise. You weren't just chasing pleasure. You were reaching for something that made you feel alive again, even if just for seconds. And you're not alone. In this age of scrolling and swiping, lust has become more than temptation. It's a way people cope. With loneliness, with rejection, with boredom, with wounds that have no words. And the worst part? You started believing that this was all you were. A cycle, a failure, a shadow of who you once hoped to be. But that's not the truth. Not your truth. Not God's truth. Because the enemy, he's not just after your actions. He's after your identity. He doesn't just tempt. He redefines. He waits until you're tired, then whispers, "You'll always come back to this." He waits until you're numb, then says, "Maybe this is just who you are now." And slowly, quietly, shame becomes your second skin. Not just guilt for what you did, but disgust for who you think you've become. But beloved, that voice is not your shepherd's voice. It is not the voice of the one who died for you. There's a story, you know it. A woman caught in the act, dragged into the temple by men holding stones. Her sin exposed, her dignity shattered, her life hanging on the verdict of a crowd. And Jesus doesn't say a word. He stoops down, draws in the dust, waits for the noise to quiet. Then he speaks, "Let the one without sin cast the first stone." And one by one, they drop, their judgment, their anger, their superiority. And when the dust settles, only two remain, Jesus and the woman. "Has no one condemned you?" he asks. "No one, sir." "Then neither do I. Go and sin no more." He doesn't say this because she was clean, but because she was seen. He saw her not just as a sinner, but as a soul. Not just as broken, but as beautiful. And that same Jesus still stoops low today, still writes in the dirt of your shame, still lifts your chin, and still says, "Neither do I condemn you." So be honest now, not filtered, not polished, not the prayer you think God wants to hear, just the truth. "I'm tired. I've tried. I failed again. I don't even know if I believe you still love me." That is holy ground. Not the perfect performance, but the real confession. That's where healing begins. That's where heaven leans in. And then, the hardest part, the part no one talks about, forgiving yourself. Because maybe you know God forgives you, but you still look in the mirror and feel disgust. You still carry the memory like it happened yesterday. You still punish yourself with silence. But here's the truth. Jesus didn't carry your sin so you could carry the shame. That's not your burden anymore. That's not your cross. He already took it. You are not condemned. And no, you don't have to keep paying a debt he already canceled. So get back up. Slowly, quietly, not to prove anything, but to live again. Get up because you are already loved. Not in spite of your struggle, but even inside of it. Stand not as a hero, but as someone rescued. Walk not to earn approval, but because grace has already cleared the path. You don't have to run fast. You just have to move forward. One small, honest step. That's enough. That's holy. And as you do, remember this: you are not your failure. You are not your last mistake. You are not who shame says you are. You are seen. You are known. You are loved. Not someday, Not when you're better. Now. Already. Always.